All right, guys, so in this video, I'm going to show you my secrets of how you can scale up a relatively small account to a much larger account in a very short period of time. My name is David with Binary Masterclass, and welcome back to the channel. All right, guys, so I am going to show you a session from a few days ago where I took my account from around $1,000 to a much higher number in just about a 20-minute period of time. I really don't like trading with small accounts like this, but I know that I can take this amount of money and I could turn it into a larger account in a short period of time using our strategy and our money management and some other secrets that I'm going to talk to you about here in a minute in a very short period of time and get me to an account size that I can trade more actively and with a much more conservative money management. So the number one secret for me growing a small account in a quick period of time is, number one, making sure I'm trading with the right market conditions. As you probably know, market conditions change throughout the day. You're going to go through periods where the market is respecting support and resistance. You're going to go through periods of higher or lower volume. You're going to have news cycles or segments come in and really disrupt the market. You need to be trading in good market conditions, meaning you don't want to be trading right around news. You don't want to be trading with ultra low volume, although lower volume is not necessarily a bad thing, but primarily you want to make sure that the market is respecting support and resistance. Now, the good thing about our indicators is they do show you the support and resistance lines that we use during our trading. And we do teach you how to read that support and resistance in our Binary Masterclass that you can purchase separately or in our daily live trading sessions. So that's rule number one. Rule number two is to make sure that you know the strategy like the back of your hand. Our strategy in particular, but at least whatever strategy you're trading, you need to make sure you understand the strategy. You don't want to be trying to learn the strategy while you're trading in a very aggressive fashion. We recommend our students actually only start with 1% of their balance on their trades, but as you learn the strategy and you get very good at the strategy, you can actually increase that risk level with a very high degree of accuracy. We win our first and second entries generally at least 85%, sometimes 90% of the time. And so that means 8 or 9 out of 10 trades are not going to go beyond a second entry. So that being the case, knowing that I can get through probably 9 out of 10 trades without going to a third entry when I am trading in decent conditions, it gives me a lot of confidence that I can trade with a higher level of aggression, specifically on lower account sizes. Rule number 3, look for the best setups within your strategy. Now, we trade a support and resistance strategy, and that doesn't mean that every support and resistance is created equal, and that does not mean that all the setups are the same. We're looking for the highest value setups when we are trading with a higher level of aggression. I'm going to show you a good setup today, and actually I'm going to get the trading video going now. As we get going here, it's going to take about a minute. I'm actually watching Euro USD, and I'm wanting it to get down to this support level. You can see that support level marked in blue, and you can see the volume is actually kind of low on it right now, but a number of the euro-based currencies, as I'm looking over all my charts here, are actually working their way down, and there was a new support created there. I don't want that support. I'm looking for that bottom level support. The lowest support that I can see on the chart, it actually correlates with another support level pretty closely from not too long ago. And so I'm going to take a first entry. I'm actually going to trade a $300 first entry with $1,000 or $1,060 account balance. So pretty high level. I only have room for a first and second entry with this trade size, but again, that's okay because I have a pretty high degree of confidence that this is not going to take me beyond a second entry. And so I do get that support level on Euro USD. I do enter my first entry there, and actually I got a little bit below it, which I like. I got a little spike through, and it does actually move beyond that support. It's very oversold, as you can see, and I do take another entry there when it does spike down a little farther. You can see on the value chart we were almost at -2 on the value chart, which is a very oversold position. I'd actually take another entry here as it starts to turn around. I'm actually watching Euro Aussie turn around dramatically. And so I really have a very high degree of confidence that Euro USD will come back and at least finish around this previous support, which could be becoming a resistance level here. So I believe I will at least win my second entry here. And with about 6 seconds left, we're actually looking good on our first and second entries. I do win that first entry. And because of the lower volume, it would take a little longer for this currency to respond with a lower move. And so I win one of my second entries right there, and I am getting ready to close this out with another win. Guys, almost doubling my account in one trade. So I went from $1,060 to about $1,800 in my first trade here. So very high degree of confidence in that particular setup. There was a pretty strong support level and it was very oversold. And I had gotten an indication from Euro Aussie that in fact, Euro USD probably was going to be turning around. Euro Aussie had already turned around. And so very high degree of confidence in that particular setup. So now I'm looking for my next setup here. And we fast forward just a little bit. I'm actually playing this in real time. I cut out a little bit of the middle just to speed up the process a little bit, but I'm actually playing this in real time for you. One of the things you're going to see here, and I was wanting Euro USD to hit that resistance level. It didn't quite get there. I do take an entry right at that level there. And one of the things you'll notice is actually the MT4 is a little bit ahead of my pocket option account, giving me a little bit of a window into the future of what's going to happen on my pocket option by watching the drop first on my MT4. So I was alerted to a potential drop or to a coming drop on Euro USD by my MT4, which was again slightly ahead of my pocket options. So we do get a drop off at that kind of previous level of the tops of those previous candles. Again, you can see I put another $300 entry. I did not raise my risk management at all on this particular setup. I'm comfortable trading with that as a first entry size. That's a dollar amount that makes sense to me, and it does give me room for more entries if needed. So it does look like this entry is going to win though very cleanly. So another $250 profit earn takes me to a little over $2,000 now. Now we're just going to wait for another setup. Watching these euro-based currencies, Euro USD, Euro Aussie. What are we going to get? We're watching Euro USD work its way higher to this resistance. Do I like this level? I think I do. I think I do. It's getting there. This currency is just crossed 120, just about 125 in the value chart. It does kind of spike right above this resistance level. I'm just kind of pausing on it. Not really sold on this level yet. It's got a few levels there, and it actually does continue to spike up. It's almost 2 in the value chart, but it is kind of right in between now. This is definitely an area that I could take, and I have traded many times before, but I didn't feel confident enough for whatever reason in that particular spot, but it did correspond with some previous levels. So that could have been a very good spot to take a first entry, honestly. It does look like it wants to potentially move higher here. It's challenging that area. And actually I'm watching it and Euro Aussie. I would really like, the best setup is at that upper level of resistance for Euro USD. And actually now I'm watching Euro Aussie as well get up to a very good resistance. They are both very oversold. Well, Euro USD is about 2 on the value chart. Euro Aussie is not as oversold, but it's got a very nice candle moving up to a resistance. Watching both of these euro-based currencies move higher. In fact, I do move over to Euro Aussie and I take a smaller entry here, a $100 entry, pretty close to that resistance level. Open up my trade so I can see how it's doing while I watch now Euro USD to see if it actually makes it up If EURUSD makes it up to its resistance, that probably is not good news for my first entry on Euro Aussie, because they're both trading pretty similarly right now. But I'd be willing to lose this first entry if I can get a much better setup on EURUSD. So you can see if this gets all the way up to that top level, that's going to be like 5 or 6 green candles. And it's going to have been oversold for several minutes or very, very extended on the value chart. So I do take a larger entry, or get a larger entry size ready, as my Euro Aussie does get out of the money here, because Euro USD is actually pushing, and it's got one more bump here to get to this top level. I'm just deciding whether I want to wait for that level or if I want to take it a little before, because oftentimes they don't quite get there. This one does in fact get there, and I do take that $300 entry at that level. I do lose my first entry on Euro Aussie, so I have my second entry here on Euro USD at this resistance level, and it is responding at the moment to it. So we're good for our first 25 seconds of this trade. We're looking good. Euro Aussie is red, Euro USD is red. So at this point, I'm feeling relatively comfortable with the trade. But as I say that, Euro USD and Euro Aussie do spike a little higher here. Actually, this is a prime spot right here, guys. This is a prime spot peeking through this resistance level, just like it did at the support previously. We get a spike through that resistance, and I like this entry enough where I actually put 2 $800 entries on this trade. This is a very, very common setup where you will see a currency not only move up to a resistance or down to a support, but you'll see it get there and it'll wick through that level, but it will close lower than or higher than the support or resistance. Like this candle did, it closed with a wick above the resistance, but then retreated below the resistance, and at this point is hanging out at a pretty good area below this level. Now I do see Euro Aussie and Euro CAD both starting to spike up to new levels, and so I think it's only about a matter of time before USD does the same thing. But in any event, in this case, I win that $800 entry, and I win the second $800 entry, and I close out that trading cycle with a very, very nice third entry win for, gosh, over $1,000 profit, bringing my balance almost to $3,000. So guys, you can see that within a matter of 3 trading cycles over a course of about a 20-minute period, I was able to turn $1,000 into $3,000 following our very trusted and proven strategy, trading with a much more aggressive money management, but one that still allowed me a third entry on that second trade, or that third trade, which I did utilize, and utilizing that third entry allowed me to take my account even from $2,000 to $3,000. So guys, it is possible if you're looking to grow a smaller account to a larger account more aggressively, and you have reserve funds in case your plan doesn't work, it is very possible with our strategy to grow your account in a much more aggressive fashion. Now that I'm at the $3,000 level, I'm going to continue probably just to trade the same dollar amount, and so the percentages start going down dramatically after every trading cycle that I win. I'm not going to keep increasing my first entry size, because I want to continue to allow myself to have more leash in case I run into a setup, which I will eventually, that does push me maybe to a fourth entry. I do want to have room for that. But those are the secrets that I use to grow my account from a smaller account to a larger account in a much shorter period of time. Okay, guys. So as always, if you like the video, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification button so you see our new videos when they come out. Guys, only half of you that watch our videos are actually subscribed to the channel. It would help us out a ton if you're enjoying our binary options content, if you would click subscribe and even comment on the video. We would love to interact with you guys. And more importantly, if you would like to learn how to trade like this and how to take your relatively small account to a much larger account I encourage you to join us in our live trading sessions. Now, you can either join as a basic member and get access to one of our 3 sessions a day, including our binary masterclass, as well as plenty of amazing support options. Or you can join as a premium member, get access to all of our trading sessions, all 3 a day, get exclusive coaching, get special access to support, as well as our binary masterclass, and much, much more. Click the link on the description below, and we will see you in the trading room.